career guidance program that we have been talking about, and this module has been an introduction to, is part of the life skills development program. In fact, it's not the other way around, because career is something that we do, but life skills make us who we are, and what we are is what we carry in no matter what we do. So let's just understand what life skills development is. What are these life skills? And why are they important? Why are these 10 life skills so highlighted by the UNICEF for all our youngsters to have? So the next some time is going to be dedicated to the life skills. According to UNICEF, who gave us the comprehensive framework for life skills, what are life skills? Life skills are a set of abilities, attitudes, social-emotional competencies that enable an individual to learn, to make well-informed decisions so that they can live a healthy and productive life, and finally become agents of change. That is what is the aim of talking about, inculcating life skills in our youngsters from the very beginning. The 4 pillars of life skill are learning to be, learning to know, learning to do, and learning to live. When we talk about them individually, learning to be involves self-awareness. It involves communication and resilience. Learning to do involves negotiation and decision-making. Learning to know involves critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving. And finally, learning to live involves participation and empathy. We will talk about these and what they mean, and you will realize why all of these are the life skills. And it is a good idea to understand where we are strong and where we could be stronger, even right now as adults. So let's go and check them out one by one. We will talk about the life skills now, one by one, but in brief, because this is the beginning of the modules. So self-awareness is to know about oneself and to have a realistic assessment about oneself, which will help us in goal setting. Of course, knowing about oneself means knowing about our personality, attitudes, our abilities, our interests, our hobbies, our values, our beliefs, all of that. And having a realistic view about ourselves. The life skill of communication is about the ability to convert thought into words and to do it in such a manner where you can convey what you want to. Where you mean what you say and you say what you mean. Resilience is coming back from failures. To believe that we will have a life which does not have a failure is actually very, very impossible. So how do we learn out of those failures? How do we see a failure as a feedback? Now that is resilience. Empathy. How do we connect with other people and with ourselves in a very, very compassionate manner, where we can forgive ourselves, forgive the others as well, understand them. That is where empathy stands. And empathy is very important in any of the other life skills to be of any value to us. It's actually a very, very strong. And that is why when you go back to this slide where we're talking about the lifespan continuum, life skill continuum, empathy was one of the very beginning ones. Participation is where we learn new things and we hone the existing skills by continuous practice, where we don't sit and rest on our laurels. The life skill of critical thinking is to be critically evaluating ourselves, the situations, our abilities, and working with that information. The bottom line being objective about it. When we talk about creativity, creativity is seeing things in a different manner, to seeing the bigger picture, to zoning out from the details to a bigger picture and seeing it in a very, very different manner. Maybe giving out-of-the-box solutions. That is what creativity is. And to put together critical thinking and creativity, we can help solve problems, which brings us to problem solving. To have a creative way of solving problems in which the aim is basically a win-win situation. not I win and you lose situation. And negotiation. Now, how is negotiation different from communication? Communication is completely, simply thoughts into words. Negotiation is thoughts into words in such a way that you understand my requirement, I understand your requirement, and we both can come to a common ground. That is negotiation, which is obviously a very, very important skill in the workspace, but it is also an important skill even as we are playing in the playground. As to when students of, say, class 3 are finalizing that should we play football today as a group in our games period, or should we play volleyball? And then realizing that, as a class, now we can play football, next week we'll play volleyball. Or some of you can play football and some of you can play volleyball. Negotiations are happening everywhere. And finally, to put together the life skill of self-awareness, of communication, of critical thinking, and bringing it all together to make well-informed decisions, and then having the resilience of making a choice and maybe making it wrong, but then learning from it. All of that comes into decision making. You will realize that none of these life skills are a standalone, that you could become an expert in one, leave the others out, or an expert in a chosen few and leave the others out. We are already a bundle of all of these life skills put together. That is why we are functioning as effective human beings and working as effective professionals. And that is the aim and hope that we have with a life skills curriculum for our youngsters. Life skills are those skills that we need to make sure that we take in the other categories of skills and that we do a good job of that. Our students do a good job of that. The other skills are the foundational skills, which are literacy, which are numeracy, which are increasing our digital skills, our reading and writing, the maths, the languages that we learn. Then we have the job-specific skills, which talk about specific jobs and skills that we learn about them, like maybe accountancy or engineering or architecture. Interestingly, job-specific skills can be outdated. And if that happens, then what helps us transfer knowledge are the transferable skills that we can learn in one place and then apply everywhere else, like communication, creativity, respect for diversity, empathy. And interestingly, did you see that the transferable skills are quite similar to the life skills? Because that is one skill that we take everywhere, no matter where we go, no matter what profession we take up. What we do can go out, but how we are stays with us forever. So let's make sure that our career guidance program is strongly resting on our life skills program as well.